Welcome back to Edzy, your personal AI tutor for CBSE students. Today we are spending an extended episode with Class 7 Science and the chapter The Ever Evolving World of Science. This is a longer revision session, roughly 30 to 60 minutes, so settle in comfortably. I am Gaurav and with me is Swati. Keep a notebook nearby if you have one, but you can also simply listen while traveling or relaxing. A student named Ananya from Pune once kept asking why every experiment had to end with one answer. This chapter would tell her a good experiment can create an even better question. We will explore curiosity, materials, changes, heat, water, life processes, time, light, shadows, eclipses, and exam ready ideas. Let us learn calmly, one question at a time.
That story captures the mood of the chapter beautifully. It is not asking you to memorize a long list before understanding anything. It is inviting you to look at ordinary things and ask, how does this work? Or why does this happen? So, if you are ready, keep your attention active. You may write down questions, predict an answer before we explain it, or just listen passively and test yourself mentally.
Let us begin with the central message. Science is not presented merely as a collection of facts. It is an invitation to question, perform experiments, and explore the world we live in. That means science includes knowledge, but it also includes a way of thinking. We observe something, become curious, ask a question, and then investigate rather than accepting an explanation blindly.
एक second pause करके सोचो. If science were only about remembering facts, why would the chapter repeatedly ask us to perform activities and experiments? The reason is that direct observation helps us connect an idea with the world. A student may read about materials, but testing a material in a simple circuit can make the idea of its property much clearer.
Exactly. The chapter also tells us that science covers everything, small and large, near and far. We may examine tiny cells inside a leaf, or think about the movement of the sun and stars. We may test materials at home or ask how water flows underground. The scale changes, but the scientific attitude remains observe carefully and ask meaningful questions.
The book uses the flight of a butterfly and a paper plane as an imaginative connection with learning. Its page numbers follow those playful forms, and the idea is that learning takes flight when curiosity leads the way. The paper plane also reminds us that simple observations, such as studying bird wings, can inspire scientific exploration of flight.
For an exam answer, write the key distinction precisely. Science is an ongoing process of discovery, not only a finished set of facts. It welcomes curiosity, questions, evidence from activities, and openness to the unknown. In class 7, the questions become deeper. How do things work? Why do events happen in a particular way? What can patterns in nature teach us?
तुम्हारा आंसर क्या आ रहा है? Suppose you notice that a paper plane flies differently when its shape changes. A scientific response would not be simply, this one is better. You would ask, what changed? Observe the result, and perhaps repeat the activity. The chapter wants us to become explorers who make small discoveries for ourselves.
There is another important dimension responsibility. Scientific exploration is linked to the environment and to society. Human activities affect the natural world, and science can help us think about environmental challenges and a more sustainable world. So, curiosity should not be careless. It should help us understand our place on the planet and make responsible choices.
That is a point students sometimes skip because it sounds less like a definition. But it is central to the chapter. Science gives us understanding, and understanding should be connected with responsibility. The chapter is preparing you not just to answer textbook questions, but to notice how natural systems and human actions are connected.
Let us make a quick recap before moving ahead. Science involves curiosity, questions, observation, experiments, exploration, and responsible thinking. It can study a cell in a leaf as well as celestial movements. A useful answer frame is science is a continuous process that helps us understand the world through questioning and investigation.
Now we will map the journey. First, the chapter points towards properties of materials, including everyday questions about sour fruits and removing a stain. Then, batteries, lamps, and wires lead us to properties of materials in electrical circuits and the classification into metals and non-metals. After that come changes in materials, heat, and water.
The journey then turns towards living organisms. We consider growth, food, breathing, and circulation in animals, and ask whether plants also need food and breathe. Finally, we examine time, light, shadows, day and night, and eclipses. These topics look different, but the chapter emphasizes that physics, chemistry, biology, and earth sciences are interconnected.
So do not treat this chapter as disconnected previews. A question about a material may lead to electricity. A question about heat may lead to melting and the water cycle. A question about light may lead from a shadow on the ground to an eclipse involving the earth and moon. The common thread is inquiry.
Let us enter the first major area: properties of materials. The chapter encourages us to question things we experience but perhaps never investigate. Why are some fruits sour? What happens when we wash a haldi stain from a school uniform? These are not random examples. They show that familiar experiences can become scientific questions when we examine the properties and interactions of materials. Quote:
Notice the difference between merely noticing and investigating. This fruit is sour is an observation. Why is this fruit sour? Is a question. What happens when the stain is washed? Describes an investigation. The chapter does not give us permission to guess carelessly. It asks us to explore properties and uses through experience, testing, and careful thinking.
Then the chapter introduces batteries, lamps, and wires. The question is practical: what kind of materials are needed to make a lamp glow? This helps students explore another kind of property, whether materials affect an electrical circuit. The important learning move is to connect a hands-on activity with classification based on observed properties.
Before I say more, think like an investigator. If a lamp does not glow in a circuit, what could you ask? You could ask whether the material being tested has the required property, whether the arrangement needs checking, or whether the battery has run out. The chapter gives us the direction of investigation. It encourages questions instead of immediate conclusions.
That is a useful clarification. A result in an activity should lead to reasoning, not just a label. From such exploration, the chapter leads into metals and non-metals. The classification is based on properties. In an exam, if asked why materials are classified, state that classification helps us organize materials according to their properties and understand their possible uses.
ये point miss मत करना. The chapter is introducing a way of studying materials, not asking you to memorize isolated names without investigation. The source gives examples of metals and non-metals as a coming area of study. But our safe conclusion here is that their properties help us classify and use them.
Let us connect this with the scientific method presented by the chapter. Begin with an everyday observation, frame a question, test or explore the material. Notice the result. Then ask whether the result raises another question. This last step matters because an experiment that seems to confirm our expectation may still reveal something that needs further investigation.
एक सेकंड पॉज करके सोचो, what is stronger for learning? Reading that a material has a property or observing what happens when you test it? The chapter values the second route because it builds understanding. You may use EDSI for an exact doubt when you are unsure how to explain an observation step by step. But keep the focus on reasoning.
We have now covered the first major idea. Materials can be studied through their properties, everyday uses, and behavior in an electrical activity. The exam-ready words are observation, property, testing, classification, metals, and non-metals. Do not write more than the evidence supports. Explain the question, the activity, and the property being examined.
Now imagine a torch battery that has run out. Think of ice becoming water, fruits ripening, and rocks breaking into pebbles. The chapter asks us to investigate what kinds of changes happen around us. Some changes can be reversed, while others cannot be reversed. This is the basic distinction we must carry forward.
A reversible change is one that can be changed back, while an irreversible change cannot be reversed in the same way. The source uses ice melting into water as an example of a change to investigate, and it also mentions a battery running out, fruits ripening, and rocks breaking into pebbles. In an answer, classify only with clear reasoning.
Here is a common confusion. Students sometimes see every change involving heat as identical. But the chapter asks a different question. Can the change be reversed? And does heating make it happen or happen faster? These are related observations, but they are not the same statement. Read the wording of the question carefully before writing your answer.
The chapter next asks us to look at how heat flows. The examples range from an ice cube melting in a glass to a glacier melting. The purpose is to observe that heat is connected with changes in materials. At this stage, remember the broad idea. Heating can cause some changes or make them occur faster, and these changes need careful observation.
तुम्हारा आंसर क्या आ रहा है? If the chapter gives ice melting and a fruit ripening together, what is it inviting you to compare? It is inviting you to look at different changes and ask whether they can be reversed. Do not assume that two changes are the same merely because both happen naturally. Their reversibility and conditions must be considered.
Water provides the next connected example. With heat from the sun, water evaporates from the seas and later falls as rain. The chapter also refers to water trickling down into the ground somewhere far away. This gives us the broad movement of water through evaporation, precipitation, and movement through the environment.
Let us make the sequence verbally. Water is present in places such as seas. Heat from the sun helps it evaporate. It later falls as rain, which is precipitation, and may flow or trickle into the ground. The chapter presents this as a natural cycle and reminds us that water is connected with heat, materials, and the environment.
Exam point: when explaining the water cycle from this chapter, include the role of the sun's heat, evaporation from seas, precipitation as rain, and the movement of water into or through the ground. A short, ordered explanation is better than a vague statement that water simply disappears and returns.
अब तक हम materials and changes cover कर चुके हैं. And notice how the ideas connect. A material changes, heat may be involved, and water moves through nature. If you're revising with a friend, challenge one another to place the words evaporation, precipitation, heat, and groundwater movement into a sensible sequence.
The chapter now turns the scientific lens towards us. During middle school years, our bodies change rapidly. It asks why this happens and then broadens the question: what life processes are essential for animals to survive and grow? The source mentions eating, breathing, and circulation of nutrients from food throughout the body.
This is a good moment to avoid a narrow human only view. The chapter directly asks, why animals alone? Do plants also need food to grow? How do they get their food? Do they breathe? And how? The purpose is to recognize that life processes are important across organisms, even though the exact ways may differ.
A precise answer can begin like this: organisms need essential life processes for survival and growth. Animals take in food and breathe, and blood circulates nutrients from food through the body. Plants also need food and breathing processes, so the chapter encourages us to ask how plants carry out these processes rather than assuming only animals are living and active.
ये point miss मत करना. Growth is not the only idea here. The chapter links growth with food, breathing, and the circulation of nutrients. If a question asks you to explain why life processes matter, connect them with survival and growth. Instead of writing only that an organism becomes larger.
The chapter describes life on Earth as having evolved over billions of years and as carrying out these processes in a beautiful, carefully balanced way. We should use this source grounded idea responsibly. It highlights balance and interconnectedness, but it does not ask us to invent detailed explanations beyond the topics that will be studied later.
That caution is important. An extended episode can make us feel that we must explain every biological detail now. But this chapter is an opening journey. It raises questions about how plants obtain food and breathe. Later chapters can develop those answers. In revision, distinguish between a question introduced by the chapter and a full explanation already provided here.
Let us test the connection. If food is taken in but nutrients do not reach the body, which process mentioned in the chapter becomes relevant? Circulation. If an organism grows, what broader question should we ask? What food and breathing processes support that growth? Scientific thinking links an observation to the processes that may explain it.
Exactly. The body section also shows why science is interconnected. Biology is not a separate island. Food, materials, changes, and the environment all meet in real life. A learner can observe a growing plant, ask where its food comes from, and connect that question with life processes and the balance of nature.
Mini recap. The chapter connects middle school body changes with life processes. Animals need food, breathing, and circulation for survival and growth. Plants also raise questions about food and breathing. Life has evolved over a very long period, and the chapter presents these processes as part of a carefully balanced natural world.
Now let us ask a deceptively simple question. What is time? A clock or wristwatch tells us the time and how it passes. But the chapter asks us to think about how time is measured and how fast something happens. This moves us from using time every day to reflecting on the idea behind measurement.
Before electric clocks and digital watches, early humans observed shadows of objects in sunlight. They used the position of shadows to tell the time. For exam writing, remember the relationship clearly. The changing position of a shadow in the sun was used as an observable indication of the passage of time.
एक second pause करके सोचो, why were shadows useful for early time measurement? Because the position of an object shadow changes as sunlight changes during the day. The chapter introduces this as an example of humans observing nature and using a pattern to solve a practical need.
Light is not limited to helping us read at night or helping us see. The chapter says that questions about the nature of light have contributed to a deep understanding of the universe. This is another example of an everyday observation opening the door to larger scientific ideas.
And shadows have more uses than shadow puppets. They help us think about time. And on a much larger scale, shadows can involve the earth and the moon. That is how this section naturally leads towards eclipses. The same idea, light being blocked and a shadow being formed, can be considered around us and in space.
A likely short answer question is mention two practical or scientific roles of light and shadows introduced in the chapter. A supported answer could refer to seeing, reading at night through generated light, measuring time using shadows, and understanding eclipses. Select the roles that match the wording and explain them briefly.
A small edgy study move fits here. After listening to this recap, close your notes and try active recall. Explain in your own words how shadows were used to measure time, and then say why light matters beyond daily life. If your explanation gets stuck, ask one exact doubt rather than rereading the entire chapter.
We are entering the final science content section now. The chapter connects light and shadows with the earth, moon, and sun. Eclipses occur because these bodies can cast shadows. To understand the broader picture, we need to know that the earth rotates around its axis, the moon goes around the earth, and the earth goes around the sun.
Let us separate the movements carefully. Earth rotating around its axis is one movement. The moon going around Earth is another. Earth going around the sun is a third. The chapter asks us to consider the consequences of these movements for life on our planet, including the familiar pattern of day and night.
Exam point. Do not merge all three movements into one sentence without clarity. If asked to explain day and night, connect it with receiving light from the sun and the earth's rotation around its axis, as introduced by the chapter. If asked about eclipses, mention the role of shadows involving the earth and moon.
तुम्हारा आंसर क्या आ रहा है? Which words should appear in a basic eclipse explanation? Light, shadow, earth, and moon. The chapter does not require us in this opening section to add unsupported details. A clear answer should show that celestial bodies can cast shadows and that the movements help us understand such events.
There is a beautiful shift in scale here. At home, a shadow may help tell time. In the sky, shadows help us think about eclipses. Day and night depend on receiving light from the sun. These examples show the chapter's main method. Begin with something observable, then ask how the same idea may help us understand a larger system.
A common mistake is to write that day and night happen simply because the sun moves around us. That statement is not the chapter's explanation. The chapter directs us to the Earth's rotation around its axis and to the fact that Earth receives light from the sun. Keep the cause and the source of light together.
Let us pause our content journey for orientation. We have covered the chapter's major map, scientific curiosity, materials, changes, heat and water, life processes, time, and light with celestial movements. The remaining activity is especially important because it turns the learner from an answer writer into a question maker.
The activity is called Question the Answer. In school and tests, we usually receive questions and find answers. Here, the direction is reversed. We are given an answer and must create a curious, creative, and fun question or situation that could lead to it. The chapter says there are no wrong questions, provided they are interesting rather than obvious.
The example answer is just make it half. It could respond to a question about equal shares of cake, an essay that is too long, an envelope that cannot fit something, or a song that's too long for a dance. One answer can fit several situations. That teaches us that scientific curiosity is not limited to one predictable question.
Now, your turn. The answer is because the cat's teeth were crooked. What question could lead to that answer? Do not choose a plain arithmetic question. Build a situation involving the cat, its teeth, or something affected by them. Take a moment and create your own question before hearing any possible direction from us.
One possible question could be, why did the cat struggle to bite the food? That is only one possibility, not a fixed answer. The key skill is to make the question fit the given answer while allowing imagination. The activity also reminds us that asking a thoughtful question is itself a valuable form of thinking.
Next answer, just add some milk. What question might produce it? Perhaps a question about changing a drink or making something less strong. Again, the source does not demand one official question. It asks you to be curious and creative. This is useful for science because good investigation often begins with a question that opens possibilities.
The third answer is, don't panic, I have my towel. Purpose is to encourage imaginative situations, not to test whether you can guess a single textbook line. The final answer is 42, and the chapter specifically warns against making an obvious question such as a direct calculation. We should create a more interesting context for the answer.
ये point miss मत करना. The activity is not separate from science. A scientist must ask questions that are meaningful, open to investigation, and connected with observation. The activity makes you practice the first step. When you learn to ask better questions, you become better at understanding why events happen and how things work.
Let us now prepare answer frames. If asked to define the spirit of science in this chapter, write that science is a process involving curiosity, questioning, observation, experimentation, and exploration. If asked about responsibility, connect scientific learning with the environment, society, environmental challenges, and a sustainable world.
If asked about the chapter's interconnectedness, name the broad fields introduced: physics, chemistry, biology, and earth sciences. Then explain that although topics may appear in different chapters, scientific ideas in one area can inspire discoveries or questions in another. Keep the explanation connected, not just a list of subject names.
For materials, remember properties, uses, testing with batteries, lamps, and wires, and classification into metals and nonmetals. For changes, remember reversible and irreversible changes, heating, and examples such as ice melting, fruits ripening, a battery running out, and rocks breaking into pebbles. Use the exact example that supports your point.
For water, mention evaporation due to the sun's heat, precipitation is rain, and water moving into or through the ground. For life processes, mention food, breathing, circulation of nutrients, survival, and growth in organisms. For time and light, mention shadows, time measurement, seeing, generated light, eclipses, and celestial movements.
Let us conduct a rapid recall round. What is the chapter's central attitude? Curiosity. What makes science a process? Asking questions, observing, experimenting, and exploring. What helps classify materials? Their properties. What two broad kinds of changes are introduced? Reversible and irreversible. What drives evaporation from the seas? Heat from the sun.
More recall which life processes are mentioned for animals, eating, breathing, and circulation of nutrients. What does the chapter ask about plants? Whether they need food and breathe, and how these processes occur. How did early humans use shadows? They observed their positions in sunlight to tell the time. What can Earth and Moon cast? Shadows that help us understand eclipses.
A final common mistake check. Do not reduce science to memorizing answers. Do not confuse every change with an irreversible change. Do not forget plants when discussing life processes. Do not mix up Earth's rotation, the moon's movement around Earth, and Earth's movement around the sun. And do not write an eclipse answer without mentioning shadows and the relevant celestial bodies.
We are at the final recap now. Your small challenge is this: close your notebook and explain the whole chapter in 7 connected steps: curiosity, materials, changes, water, life processes, time, and light with celestial movements. Then create one original question for the answer 42, just as the activity asks. If one step feels unclear, use Etsy for that exact doubt and return to your explanation. Gaurav, give us the final takeaway.
The most important idea is simple but powerful. Science is an ever evolving journey of asking, observing, testing, exploring, and thinking responsibly. We connected material properties with everyday investigations, reversible and irreversible changes with heat, water with evaporation and precipitation, growth with life processes, time with shadows, and light with earth, moon, sun, day, night, and eclipses. Remember the common mistake? Do not memorize isolated words without explaining their connection. Complete the 7-step challenge today and teach one idea to a friend. Keep questioning, keep observing, and keep learning with calm curiosity. We will meet again in the next Etsy revision conversation.